Welcome everybody to the A.I.P channel where anything is possible. Well, we'll talk about anything and everything, whatever we want to talk about, whatever pops in my head. Tonight, I was scrolling, been looking for something to talk about. I have a few little things and the other things I want to do. I just want to do a little more research. And then scrolling through Twitter or X, you know. And seen the video, and I'm like, is that true? Well, I don't take nothing face value. I go looking. So I started searching. And more I searched, the more I'm like, maybe it's true that he actually wrote this. It's talking about the letter. Uh, let me pull up my little note right here. It's a letter from Albert Pike to Giuseppe Bazzini. I know I just tortured that name. They had the letter on display in London until 1977. It was actually, they found the letter in 1910. He talks about the world wars and what it's going to take to bring around certain things. Talks about the First World War must be brought in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. And then talks about the Second World War was formed. He was saying that they're going to have a Second World War. Like I said, this was in 1871 now. August 15th, 1871, we're going to get exact. Talking about this, they're going to need a Second World War. International communism must be strong enough to order the balance of Christendom, which should then be restrained and held in check until the time we would need it. Final social catalysm. As said, the war must be brought around so that Nazism is destroyed and the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine, which it did in 1945. Now we get to today's time. The Third World War. Albert Pike says had no relation, if you're wondering. Not that I know of. I don't know. I had to go check. I got some genealogy I can look through and see if I am related to Albert Pike or not. Third World War must be formulated by taking advantage of the difference caused by the agenda of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The world must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism, the state of Israel, we should destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on the issue, must be constrained to the fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. I'll just bring everybody down to the bottom. Tear everybody down. Everybody's on switch sides and then exhaust all of the money to the point of nothing. What it sounds like, but that last little part was me adding. Then we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formal social catalysm which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of the absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everyone of the citizens is obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries to exterminate those destroyers of civilization. And the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose theistic spiritual form will from that moment be without compass or direction. Anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration. Thank you. Some days I just can't read. Will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. The mass manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Just some scary sounding stuff. There was a time when people thought that it was fake, but the letter was discovered in 1910. Like I said, it was put in the museum to 1977, so it'd be kind of hard to fake something that it came out before it even happened. Even if it was 1910, of course, he died way before the. Let's see. My notes. Fun fact, I was looking this up and looking into the information here. What they call the Second Reich, the German Empire, actually started in 1871. That was the same year that Albert Pike wrote this letter. So maybe he envisioned something or knew something was going to come about in the formation of that Second Reich. German Empire went from 1871 to 1918. And then, of course, everybody knows the third with Hitler and being appointed as Chancellor of the German state in 1933. So, just a interesting little video that I guess I could show it. It's an old video, but somebody read it, I guess back in the 80s, or I don't know, but it just kind of amazed me. How he was kind of spot on the first two, so I hope he's not spot on for the third one. Like I said, scary times. So let me share this so y'all can, for the ones that are listening, you can hear it, and then he'll say a lot of the same things I did, without misspelling words and mispronouncing words. Misspelling. Lord have mercy. Mercy. All right. Here we go.
He predicted 3 world wars. The First World War, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. He's now thinking about this Third World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion.
Yeah. He didn't do much better than I did. He almost mispronounced something, and he said also, so I don't feel too bad. uh, yeah, it's scary to think about a little bit, and with all the turmoil, and um, I'm not here to choose sides. I'm not getting in the middle of it. I mean, putting my opinion out there on this. Um, Careful with what you listen to and what's face value and what everything, every news mainstream media is showing you. So I gotta say, because you hear facts on both sides, and it matters who's telling the story. Like I said, I don't want to get into it, and I don't. It's all scary times. I don't want nobody to fight. Uh, Rather see, we could do like a Rocky Four. They just pick one person from each side and see who they could have a boxing match like on Rocky Four. You get one person from one side, one from the other, and whoever wins, and that's the winner. That's biblical. You get David and Goliath. That's what they did with them. Instead of everybody fighting, they made a decision of Goliath was going to fight whoever. Only have one death instead of many. It's a lot of turmoil, a lot of unshaky, unwavered times, and I said, everybody be careful. But really, I said I just want to bring that. I seen that video, the one I just played, and off of YouTube, and YouTube off Twitter, which I guess it was off TikTok. Somebody posted it on there. Down the line they went. And that guy reading off of it. You can, as always, don't believe what I said. Please look it up. And what I did, I looked it up and I was like, that can't be. And then I started looking, and I'm like, and then he said Nazism. It kind of threw me off. I'm like, I didn't think that word was even being used until the 30s. But uh, it won't be the first time that we look in our dictionaries and they change the name of words and stuff like that. I seen where they changed the word of if you look back in some dictionaries from the 1800s, a rhinoceros, so it's called a unicorn, and one with two horns was a bicorn. And you can look at it in like their Greek name, whatever their scientific name, it'll still say it in there. But now, if you look up unicorn in a dictionary, it talks about it being a mythical creature. But and then they talk about them in the Bible, talking about unicorns. Well, it looks like they're actually talking about rhinoceroses, because that's the actual definition of it until up into 1800s or something. And it's still to this day, actually, if you know the scientific name, they still use it. But while you have to do your research, you have to look because so many people and so many groups have altered history and changed history to make it their twister for their agenda to work. So, for their thought of mind. So, you have to be cautious of what you read and what you see and what you take at face value. And of course, it's a hard subject. You get, and once you start going down, I've talked about before, you start going down that rabbit hole. Well, I don't believe that now. I see that was a lie to me. And it's a, it's a long way to go. Um, but yeah, I just want to make this quick video on this nice Monday evening. I'll have this posted by the end of the night. So you'll be able to see it in the morning unless you see it tonight. This should be online before I go to bed. So hope you enjoyed and hope it gave you something to go look at. And as always, I appreciate you listening. Please share, like, uh, help me grow my little channel and see what we can do with it, and spread some truth, spread some knowledge, and spread some good cheer. So that's all I'm here for. But always keep on keeping on, and peace and chicken grease. Yeah.